Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our first ever virtual Scholar Athlete reception. My name is Andy Frushour, and together with fellow MHSAA staff member Paige Winnie, we administer the MHSAA Farm Bureau Insurance Scholar Athlete Award Program. We appreciate it that you all made it a point to join us tonight, and it really is great to see everyone here. This is actually really cool to see everyone. In a normal year, we would be meeting with you in MSU's men's basketball practice gym. So if you want to go ahead and imagine MSU green and white all over the place, a number of Final Four banners hanging on the walls, a huge weight room over to my right, and me standing at a podium directly beneath a basketball hoop. There would be nice linens on your tables with centerpieces and Farm Bureau gift bags, and we'd have a backdrop right over there so parents could take way too many photos when the ceremony is over. We would be meeting on the day of our boys basketball state finals, and there would be a palpable buzz in the building and in this room. But as we all know, this is not a normal year. We're not in a gym. There are no basketball state finals, and the only buzz may be from your phone. No, this is not a normal year, but that is not going to stop us from celebrating you. We don't have to be in a gym. We can do it right here on Zoom. We can recognize you, the most outstanding scholar athletes this state has to offer. Tonight is the end of a process that started in the fall with applications from over 1,500 student athletes and 400 schools. Over 3 months this winter, a judging group made up of 70 superintendents, principals, teachers, athletic directors, counselors, coaches, and officials. They reviewed your applications and narrowed down the field. And tonight we have the final 32, the elite of the elite, sitting here in this Zoom room. You represent all that is right with educational athletics. And let me give you some stats on this year's group of winners. You represent 24 of the 28 different sports the MHSAA offers for boys and girls. You play football, volleyball, cross country, soccer, swimming, tennis, golf, basketball, wrestling, ice hockey, competitive cheer, skiing, track, baseball, softball, and lacrosse. You've played on a total of 88 different varsity sports teams. That's an average of 2.75 sports played per person. We have winners from all over the state, from the Central UP to the Eastern UP to Traverse City, from Mount Pleasant to Midland to Bay City to Frankenmuth, from Holland to Grand Rapids to Lansing. You also stretch our entire southern border from the far southwest in Three Oaks to South Central and Bronson and Hillsdale to the far southeast in Adrian, Petersburg, and Ida. And of course, we have all of Metro Detroit surrounded. This group is a true geographical representation of our schools and athletes. By my count, we have 7 individual or team state champions. James in 8-player football, Alana in volleyball, Anish in tennis, Hunter in wrestling, DJ in lacrosse, and Malcolm and Brendan in baseball. Congratulations on that outstanding achievement. And I apologize if I missed someone that should be on this list. In addition to the champions, we have a number of state runners-up and many other state qualifiers, and a number of you have been named to All-State or All-League, or many more were awarded team MVP honors. Many of you are class officers, while others of you are leaders in the band, or chorus, or yearbook, or NFHS, or any of a number of school activities. 5 of you are first-time winners for your school. I don't know if you know who you are. We've been doing this program for 31 years, and you're the first. And we're talking about you, Delaney, Hunter, Erica, James, and Samantha. I know your schools are especially proud of your accomplishment. Side note here, Marquette Senior High School has actually had 19 finalists over the years, but Erica, you are the first winner from the school. Finally, I think 2 of you have had siblings win this award, Hudson and Anish. Way to not let your older brother have all this attention to themselves. And congratulations to you, Mom and Dad. The talent here tonight, both on and off the court, is remarkable. At no time this year will there be a greater collection of student athletes gathered at one time than we have right now. Honestly, I don't know where you find the time to stay so involved and yet succeed with such a busy schedule. I've been in charge of this program for the last 15 years. It's always been an honor to promote this incredible group of students, but I also have some added, more personal perspective these days. I have two daughters at home, 9th grade and 7th grade, and I make sure they read all of your bios. You are now the role models for my kids. So while I'm still excited to honor you, I also need to say thank you. Thank you for giving my kids and the kids in your community someone to look up to. We are proud to have you compete in athletics in this state, and I know your parents and schools are proud of your accomplishments. Congratulations on being selected to the MHSAA Farm Bureau Insurance Scholar Athlete Class of 2020. Normally there'd be a lot of applause right now. Tonight we have a short, but I hope memorable agenda for you. We have 3 speakers who will give short messages, and then we will attempt a virtual medal draping ceremonies. I know we have all been in our houses for the last 2 months, but I encourage you to use tonight to reflect on your last 4 years of achievement and let all of this soak in. This might be an odd setting, but you have earned the recognition we are giving you today. This award would not be possible without the generous support of Farm Bureau Insurance. This is the 31st year of the partnership between Farm Bureau and the MHSAA, and in that time, Farm Bureau has awarded $832,000 in scholarships through the Scholar Athlete Program. Don Simon is the CEO of Farm Bureau Insurance here in Michigan. Just like you, I know Don was bummed that we couldn't do this at the Breslin Center, but I also know he has been looking forward to visiting with this group. I'm happy he's here with us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Don Simon.
Okay, hopefully I'm live. Can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me? Working, great. Well, thank you, Andy, and good evening, students, parents, and all the proud relatives with us today. While we're in a very different setting this year, this event is exciting for Farm Bureau Insurance because we get to reward some of the finest young people in Michigan. As CEO of Farm Bureau Insurance, I want you to know how proud we are of what you've accomplished. Your ability to maintain outstanding grades while fueling your passion in sports sets you apart. We are proud to have young leaders like you paving the way for a new generation who will continue to ensure success for our great state of Michigan. With your talents and goals and your example, you are also making Michigan a better place to live. I have 3 children of my own, in fact, one who is a high school senior this year. Like your family members who join us today, I'm grateful for the opportunity to watch my kids accomplish what I'm sure will be great things. I hope you understand just how proud your parents and your family are right now at this moment. They have watched you grow, helped you nourish your passion, and supported you in your journey. While we, like your families and your communities, are saddened that a fine group of dedicated and hardworking students like yourselves did not get the full send-off that is customary for graduating high school seniors, we cannot begin to understand how you feel, but we are certain that there is no better group to help lead their peers, their teammates, and even some of the younger brothers and sisters, some of them that I see running through the back screens right now. And we're so proud of everything you've accomplished. Next, I'd like to share that Farm Bureau has always had a special place in our hearts for the Michigan High School Athletic Association. As Andy mentioned, over 30 years ago, Farm Bureau Insurance and the MHSAA teamed up to start a program, as you know, called the Scholar Athlete Award. And it was designed to honor high school seniors like you who excel in academics, athletics, and community involvement. Today, as mentioned, we have 32 scholarships to award. And over the years, as Andy mentioned, we've paid out over $800,000 in these scholarships. All too impressive winners like you. We consider that a great investment in Michigan's future. At Farm Bureau Insurance, we salute the programs and the school leaders and coaches that work so hard to ensure activities like these are available to the leaders that Michigan will need in the future. We, along with our field force of local agents, applaud your hard work, team spirit, and dedication. In closing, let me tell you again how proud we are of all of you, and how proud we are to be associated with the Michigan High School Athletic Association. They are one of the most dedicated organizations serving Michigan and Michigan's youth today. Congratulations to each of you. Thanks for all you've done for your school, your community, your family, and the great state of Michigan. Best wishes for a great future.
Thank you, Don. We are proud to call you a corporate friend, and we thank you for your continued support of this wonderful program.
Thank you.
I'd like to also introduce another speaker this evening. Mark Ewell is in his second year as Executive Director of the MHSAA, but he's been on our staff for 17 years. Mark has also been a coach, an athletic director, and an umpire at the highest collegiate level. More importantly, he is also the parent of 3 student athletes, so I know he appreciates the work you have done to get here today. Mark has consistently stressed the importance of excellence in the classroom, developing student leaders, and promoting the important value of sportsmanship. This group embodies all of those values, and for that, I think Mark may be one of your biggest cheerleaders. Please welcome Mark Ewell.
Good evening. Can we do the thumbs up sound check? We're good? All right. Excellent. Students, parents, guests, again, good evening. I want to start off with just a few thank yous. If there was one relationship here at the MHSAA that we value more than any other, it's our relationship with Farm Bureau. For 31 years for them to have been partners in this endeavor. Don Simon, Don is also in his second year as the CEO, so we both kind of moved up the ladder in our organizations together. You won't meet better people than Don Simon and the team over at Farm Bureau Insurance. And I just ask, I'm a proud Farm Bureau customer myself, and those of you as you get through with school and looking to buy that first car or that first home, just know that the people at Farm Bureau, you can't beat them. So again, Don and his team, our heartfelt thanks. Also want to recognize the 4 members of our team that are a part of tonight's program. Andy Frushour, who is serving as our MC tonight. As Andy said, he's been part of this program for a long time. Paige Winnie. Paige really is the one that makes the magic happen behind the curtain with all of the judging and the process. And also with our team tonight, Nick Brzezinski and Andy Osters. Again, I am blessed to work with great people. Always knew we had a great staff. I'm even more convinced of our staff and how great they are as we've continued to work remotely over the last 2 months and really haven't missed a beat. So again, heartfelt thanks to our friends at both Farm Bureau Insurance as well as our team at the MHSAA. What was always interesting, and by the way, I'm just going to share a few comments. Now, this is a little bit different. Part of me feels like I could speak as long as I want, because if you want to get up and get a soda out of the refrigerator or get a snack, you're able to do so. It's a little bit harder to do that when we're in the Breslin Center. They've often said a good speech is like a comet. It's eye-catching, it's entertaining, but most of all, it's over before you know it. So that will certainly be my goal here in the few minutes with you tonight. In the old days, when we used to do the judging of the 1,500 applications that we would get each year, and we had the paper copies upstairs in our meeting rooms, just looking at what 1,500 paper applications looked like, and knowing that process as we moved from the 1,500 with each round of judging to finally get down to the 32 top scholar athletes in our state, it really gave an important visual to that process. Again, as Andy and Don have both mentioned, it is humbling to be here with 32 of our very best student athletes in our entire state. You are truly what school sports is all about. In school sports, it is scholar athlete in that order for a reason. And again, congratulations and humbled to be with each of you this evening. Normally at this event, I've shared a quick story about adversity, that all of you being incredibly high-achieving students in the classroom probably didn't face much adversity in your classrooms. I doubt many of you said, you know what, to build a little adversity, Mom or Dad, I'm just going to flunk a math class. That did not happen. Many of you are 4.0, high national test scores, just absolute role models in the classroom. But the one area where you did find find some failure was in athletics. I've always believed that athletics is the greatest form of feedback that you get. I often wonder if our math programs or science programs would be better if you would prepare an entire week, and then at the end of that week, you would publicly compete with other schools in that subject area. And the winners, of course, would know what they missed and what to get better on the next week. And those, of course, that didn't find as much success, you would go back to the drawing board and figure out where you could improve as well. I really think that the playing field gives each of us that chance to learn and experience, and to, you know what, even be able to experience some disappointment and setback and realize that it's not permanent. You take those lessons and you keep moving forward. That's the normal message in most years when I get to talk to seniors. But in these uncertain, ever-changing, and frankly scary times, I think each of you are really the example this year. Over the last 2 months, you have all shown incredible grit in just grinding out every single day, not knowing what next week or next month or 3 months or what your fall looks like yet for college. But you've gotten up each day. You've continued to put first things first, and you've just shown great grit and continue to grind it out every day, really building mental toughness that is going to be something that will be with you forever. As depressing as things can be right now, I hope that you've also found the importance of keeping a positive attitude each and every day. You know, there's an old saying that life is 10% of what happens to us, but 90% of how we react to it. And if nothing else, I'm hoping that the last 2 months you've been able to reflect, and you've really been able to understand what is the most important things in life. And that starts with family and relationships. That hopefully this very unique experience that you've all had under quarantine before you head off to college, or that next adventure that lies ahead for each of you, I hope you've really been able to understand what a unique experience this has been, to spend so much time with immediate family, where you'll never have this much time again as you move on to the next chapters of life. I think that having that appreciation of family and not taking for granted relationships and just those simple things in life, I think is something that will benefit you as you go from incredibly successful young men and women to incredibly successful adults. The class of 2020 will always be unlike any other. You'll have stories to tell your kids and grandkids forever. But most importantly, for us here at the MHSAA, as well as our friends at Farm Bureau, we're going to be able to tell the story of the class of 2020 just as long. It's about a group of kids that really were dealt an incredibly unfair hand, weren't able to experience that long list of last things to do, but through your grit and your perseverance and your positive attitude, you're going to take this experience and use it to really propel you to great things in the future. Thanks for being one of the top 32 scholar athletes on planet Earth and in the state of Michigan. And on behalf of our entire staff, we wish you all of God's blessings and success in whatever your next chapter may be. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mark. The end of this winter and spring seasons, like Mark said, it still doesn't seem real. Tens of thousands of student athletes lost a chance to play with friends, to learn life lessons on the courts and fields, and to improve at the sports they love. And I think this is especially true for some of our Scholar Athlete winners who had big plans this spring and winter. Malcolm and Brandon, for example, were both state champions last spring in baseball, and their teams would have been defending titles this June. Hudson and James were on basketball teams this winter that were scheduled to play in the district championship, but that was taken from them. DJ and his brother Rice hockey team were scheduled to play in the state semifinals that Thursday night, but in an instant, their dreams of a state championship came crashing down. Tara and her Frankenmuth basketball teammates were just a few hours away from playing in the girls basketball regional championship. Her dad is the coach, and I assume he's on the call with us tonight. And I know the two of them would have loved to have another shot at winning that trophy. All over the state, we heard these kinds of stories, but there's one that sticks out to me. Madelyn Koski is from Ishpeming Westwood High School, and she is one of you. She is one of our 32 Scholar Athlete winners, and she is here with us tonight. Maddie was the starting point guard for her basketball team. They were already on the road, driving to their regional final game when they got the call to turn the bus around. As a Scholar Athlete winner, she knew she had the ear of someone in the MHSAA office, and she emailed us describing her team's emotional story and gave an impassioned plea to keep the dream of their season alive. We shared a few emails back and forth over the week, but as you know, ultimately, we weren't able to save that season. Along the way, though, I became so impressed with the professionalism and thoughtfulness of Maddie's emails and how she was fighting for all of you to save your seasons. When we started discussing the idea of this virtual ceremony, I knew we needed to have a third speaker. We have never had a student speaker during this event, but I couldn't think of anyone better to be the first. Please welcome Class of 2020 Scholar Athlete winner from Ishpeming Westwood, Madelyn Koski.
Can everyone hear me? Okay. March 12th was supposed to be the day of the girls' basketball regional finals. And that morning, my team left from our school in Ishpeming, which is in the north central region of the UP, for a 3-hour bus trip to Sault Ste. Marie, where the game was supposed to be held. 2 hours into our 3-hour bus trip to Sault Ste. Marie, we were told the devastating news that our season was canceled due to the coronavirus pandemic. It was very shocking, and we didn't take the news well. On our charter bus, there was a wide variety of emotions ranging from anger to despair to a feeling of hopelessness. My team was the defending regional champions, and we were devastated that we were unable to reclaim our title. Like many other athletes who still had hopes for winning state championships during winter and spring seasons, we were heartbroken. On the silent bus ride home, all I could think about was how unfair the situation was. I thought about the thousands of seniors, just like me, who are waiting to play the sports they love. Some of us have spent our lives preparing for the end of the winter and entire spring seasons, and we will never get the chance to leave our mark. We didn't deserve this, but it is a hand we've been dealt. Luckily, I had a strong support system to fall back on. It consisted of parents, coaches, teachers, and friends. Along with those close to me, my community was also very supportive of my team during this difficult time. They welcomed us back to our school on March 12th and consoled us when our bus arrived to show their support. Over the past couple months, I'm sure we've all experienced instances like this where those around us are going above and beyond for us seniors to make us feel better, and it's very heartwarming. Though we won't get the traditional end to our senior year like we were hoping for, we are receiving tons of support from all friends, family, and even strangers. Personally, I think the most important thing that we can take away from this situation is that we have to live for and enjoy every moment. We never know what's going to happen in this crazy world. In the future, when we look back on our lives, I hope we can say and truly mean that we lived it to the fullest. Though we won't get to exercise this philosophy during just one more high school practice, game, or meet, we can use this important lesson throughout the rest of our lives. Thank you to the MHSAA for guiding us through the last 4 years of our high school sports careers. And on behalf of us Scholar Athletes, thank you for this scholarship and the opportunity to celebrate it.
Thank you, Maddie. That was a home run, by the way. Way to go. We know the end of this school year has been rough on the class of 2020, and we won't forget what has been taken away from you. But we also have big expectations for this group going forward. We hope you are able to take the tragedy of the last couple months and turn it into something positive for our world in the future. Before we go on, I want to give, just like Mark, a public thank you to my MHSAA partner in crime that has helped me every step along the way. Paige, will you spotlight yourself? There you go. Since day one, Paige has been the behind the scenes brains of the entire Scholar Athlete program. She is backstage tonight, so to speak, making sure all the moving pieces are perfectly coordinated. Thank you, Paige, for all the work over the past year and especially in the past few weeks to make tonight happen. All right, so what do you say? Let's drape some medals around some necks. We will be doing this in alphabetical order. We will switch to your camera to spotlight you. I will call your name, and then if you can have a parent or family member drape the medal around your neck, that would be great. Then we'll move on to the next winner. Now, usually when we do this live, there is a lot of applause while each student walks to the front of the room. And I think it might get a little too crazy to control that kind of noise here on Zoom. But when we spotlight you, your screen will ask you if you want to unmute. Go ahead and do it. If there's some natural applause or maybe some hoots or hollers coming from your screen, that's okay. Just make sure you mute yourself again when we go to the next person. When all 32 winners have been announced, we will unmute everyone for one big round of applause. Is everyone ready? First up, waiting to see if we get a spotlight.
It looks like Leslie's video is not on. Oh, here we go. All right.
Leslie Arma, Mount Pleasant Sacred Heart. Great job, Leslie. Erica Asmus, Marquette. Hunter Ossenmacher, Ida.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, buddy.
Samuel Beach, Hillsdale.
Congratulations, honey.
Thank you.
Unable to attend tonight is Lucy Borski from Holland West, Ottawa. Next up, Logan, Canada, Fenton. I gotta tell you, I love this. This is so much fun. Morgan Cooper, Heartland. Brendan Defoe, Petersburg, Summerfield.
What's your medal?
DJ Dixon, Bloomfield Hills, Brother Rice.
Congrats.
Wow, I look so weird.
Your house looks cute.
Noah Dusso, Petersburg, Summerfield.
Oh, this is so dumb.
See him, they let him out, give him a hug.
You should have gave me a hug.
We hear you, Dixon family. Why don't you go ahead and mute that? What about, we got to get Hannah first. Is Hannah there?
I'm here, but it's not on me.
There you go. Hannah Fulmer, Grosse Ile. We're waiting to spotlight Malcolm. We're taking our cameras to Portage next. There we go. Malcolm Gaynor, Portage Northern. Gabriel Hassan, Ada, Forest Hills Eastern.
Congrats, bud.
Hudson Holbein, Adrian Lenaway Christian.
Yeah. Congrats, buddy. Thank you. Thank you, MHSAA and Farm Bureau. Greatly appreciate it. Wouldn't be possible without you.
Alicia Kanai, Ada Forest Hills Eastern. Tara Keller, Frankenmuth. Lucas Kopp, Grosse Ile.
Woo! Thank you.
Madelyn Koski, Ishpeming Westwood.
Oh, thanks.
Tej Katari, Jennison.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Ben Lankford, Grand Rapids Catholic Central.
Congrats, Ben.
Brandon Liu, Northville.
Brandon.
Ilana Mayer, Bronson. Anish Mita, Midland Dow.
Congratulations, my big dog.
Thank you.
Dad, your thing was in the way.
Kayla Moore, Madison Heights Bishop Foley Catholic. Kylie Ray, Pinckney. Elizabeth Saunders, Traverse City Central.
Yay! Whoa!
Faith Schaefer, Williamston.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Emma Springer, Three Oaks River Valley.
Congratulations.
James Story, Pickford.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Farm Bureau Insurance and MHSAA for this generous scholarship and great opportunity.
Samantha Teachworth, Portland St. Patrick.
Thank you for your insurance.
Delaney Westlock, Bay City John Glenn.
Thank you.
Kayla Wolma, Hudsonville. Hey, Paige, if we can go to the gallery, unmute everyone, and let's all congratulate the Scholar Athlete Award class of 2020. This brings us to the conclusion of this program, and honestly, it has just brought a real smile to my face tonight. This has been really exciting to honor you and hopefully give a little bit back, something that maybe you were missing. By the way, if you haven't seen the MHSAA Instagram story yet, make sure you check it out tonight. Once again, congratulations on your award, and thank you for being role models to the students in your school and the kids in your community. We will always be proud to call you our Scholar Athlete Class of 2020. If at any time you have questions about the award or the scholarship money, please don't ever hesitate to call or email. Stay safe, stay healthy, and everyone, please have a great night. Thank you again for coming.
Great event.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Stay safe, everybody.
Congratulations, everyone.
Congrats, class of 2020. Good luck next year.